There
All
we
right,
go.
go for it.
And we're going. Slate 23. I saw the devil. We got a packed house here tonight. Jason Pankoke coming back for a third time. Brought a few buddies along with him. We also
Oh,
got Eric Benson and Damian Duffy joining us tonight as well. Shep is hiding
woo!
out right now.
I would be
So
hiding out too after watching this film.
Maybe they're he's playing hooky and they're recording the debut episode of the Shep and Sven show.
Ah,
Could
It's
be
possible.
happening. I don't know. Weirder things have happened around here.
So I saw the devil. Damien, you said you had seen it once before.
I saw the devil. It's true.
Oh, you're setting us up. I see how this goes.
I like saw it on purpose. Like I've searched it out on streaming services. I was like, oh, I heard about this. Let's watch this.
Mhm.
So that's I'm broken inside. Is what I'm saying. I like it though.
Oh,
I think it's
my.
pretty good. What's up?
It is a pretty good one. I think I saw it. I think when it first came out, I think it was one I caught a family video when it first hit the shelf, and I took it home. I watched it. I was watching a lot of the Magnolia and Magnet films at the time, and so I had seen the previews for this, and it's not one I can watch back to back by any means, but it is one that I have revisited. I think this is probably my third time I've watched it.
Wow.
But I do enjoy it. It's a pretty good. I just think it's a very well crafted movie.
Yeah.
And definitely incredibly intense. A lot of head trauma. In
Yeah,
this film.
yeah.
I
thought
remember
it was
first
well done.
watching it, and when the agent guy takes that dude off the motorcycle and starts beating him with a hammer, I was just like, oh, okay, this movie, this is how this is gonna be.
Oddly enough, this time around, I couldn't help but feel like this was some really fucked up Korean version of Batman.
I can see that.
The more I started thinking on that, because the villain started laughing, I'm like, that's a real Joker-esque laugh.
That
And then
was.
from that point forward, I couldn't unsee
Oh
the
man,
parallels.
and the cannibal is like, I don't know, the Riddler or somebody. Maybe, yeah,
Killer Croc, is that
Scarecrow.
what you were about
I
to
don't
say?
Was he the penguin? Was he the penguin?
Penguin's not as cannibalistic
Well, yeah, not many
No.
are. Not many
Penguin
are.
just has bad
as
teeth.
that guy. I don't know. But yeah, he's definitely. They move into like super villain territory with both the main killer and like the other killer and all the horrible people who exist.
Yeah, I forgot just how many psychopaths were in this movie.
Like,
You know,
and they all know each other, which is weird.
They were hanging out at that one house. when it
Yeah.
happened.
Yeah, they're just like, hey, what's up? Still eating people? Yeah, you know it.
Yeah, the woman
I would-
that was hanging out with the cannibals, she was also a cannibal.
Yeah, I think she was in on it.
I couldn't tell because in that scene she's eating a bowl of rice.
Yeah,
You
see,
You
that's
never
why-
see her eat anything.
Yeah,
But she's still up to no good. I mean,
yeah, she's got to be up to something.
she probably like makes like masks out of human skin or something. Like she's got something.
Right, she's got a craft room.
was she just a roommate, like an kind of naive roommate, or was she like the sister?
I thought she
Or
was.
was
his
she
girlfriend.
dating the cannibal? Was she?
I think she was
the
dating.
cannibal?
I think she was the
Yeah.
cannibal's girlfriend
Is that why Jason has the love 101 there?
because the cannibals were in love.
right.
I don't know if it was a love, like they're just sort of figuring things out, eating people, like you do.
We are all
Bye.
frozen in time.
Well, I could not figure out. That was the one character in the film that seemingly was confusing. From like I didn't understand her character. I mean, I don't really understand any of the murderous stuff, but
They're murderers.
I figured they were murderers, but she was like, I don't know who she is, and
Yeah, she's like a murder groupie,
yeah, she was kind of like a groupie. That'd be a good way to describe it.
or else just she could be a serial killer in her own right, but the patriarchy won't tell her story.
That could be the sequel. It's like
Maybe she's like a murder savant or something.
well, she was in the hospital bed, unconscious, not dead. So there's the possibility of a sequel exploring her backstory. Like, what did she murder and eat?
I saw the she-devil.
There you go.
Ooh.
Take my money.
I think Jason might have frozen.
Yeah, we had
I
this
think
problem
so, too.
quite a bit last time around.
No, he's in a staring contest with us, I think.
For a little while, I was watching him like, is he going to move? Or is he just really bored? Yeah. Okay.
Oh, and
this
he
is-
might come back.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
I'm sure he'll be back. He
No,
popped
he
back
won't.
last time.
So
I also
Uh,
like this the Good, the Bad, and the Weird. It's the same
Mhm.
director made. That's
Yeah.
really
Mhm.
cool.
Is
Yeah,
it
that was
as
a lot of
like
fun.
grotesque as this film? Or?
It's not at all. It's
No?
it's just this wacky kind of western.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's pretty much just a wacky remake of The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly.
Yeah.
Welcome back.
Oh, hey, welcome back.
Hey,
Oh boy.
Are you all right, Jason?
The connection at this house sometimes is not just a bit iffy, and it lied to me earlier. It said that the signal is at full strength, so I believed it, and no, so me and Santa here were having a little talk. It's okay. Anyway,
You were talking to Santa Claus the whole time? Didn't realize.
Santa.
when you live in that big house by yourself, you talk to a lot of people, Eric Benson. So,
Fair enough. Yeah.
anyway, what
Well,
I
did-
miss?
Oh, well, not much.
Not
much.
much.
movie
Okay.
stuff, you know.
We don't
I
know
like-
when you froze, so hard to say.
Yeah. I think once you froze, I think we just started talking about your connection issues and
Yeah.
stopped talking about the movie. So
Yeah.
Well,
I thought you had a
It's
staring
on-
contest.
as you don't
What you
talk
meant.
about my issues on this show.
Yeah, your issue.
So, anyway, Damian and I, even though it's a different director, we had seen Old Boy. We went someplace. Was it
Yeah.
the Castle Theater
I think it was the castle. Yeah.
in downtown Bloomington?
Yeah, that sounds
And-
right.
Old Boy was pretty new. We were actually kind of surprised we got it in the movie theater. And I remember we were a bit disheveled by the time we walked out of the theater. Even though Old Boy is good, it's still kind of a tough nut to crack, like this movie.
Mhm.
I do feel like if I had seen this movie first, I would have just
Mhm.
strolled out of Old Boy, just whistling and like
Like,
that was a fun romp.
Now, what Old Boy? I have not seen this.
Oh, Old Boy's awesome. They did an American remake, which I haven't seen, and I probably never.
I
will,
forgot
but
about the American remake. Yeah.
it was Spike Lee directed, which
Yeah.
is weird.
Yeah.
What?
But yeah, Old Boy, it's a Korean movie based on a Japanese comic, and it's this guy gets like kidnapped and stuck in a room for I forget how, like 10 years or something, and then makes it
Mhm.
out and has to figure out why he was stuck in this room.
The same director?
No, but it's the guy who played the main character in Old Boy,
No.
other guy in this one.
I'm trying to think of who the director of Old Boy was.
Yeah.
Park Chan.
Park Chan-wook.
Yeah.
there you go.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Good memory.
Um,
Yeah.
Like, cause he had a whole Park Chan Wook had this whole like vengeance trilogy, right?
Right.
And then this,
Right.
I mean, this movie is all about the vengeance. So I'm like,
Yeah.
I should never piss off a Korean director, I guess. Or they'll come for your ass. I'm not sure.
Sadistic,
Probably-
yeah.
It's a good takeaway, I think.
hmm Yeah, Chase. When we talked about Cheap Thrills a few slays ago, and you kind of mentioned this at the top of this show, but again, there's certain kind of specialty labels that kind of strike out on their own, and they kind of set up what their distinction is. In this case, with Magnet being spun off of Magnolia, trying to kind of generate their own midnight movie type of label, because I remember seeing several of them from that distributor in town. This was one from around that time that I didn't see. I've seen very few. I've actually seen very few Korean films, period, let alone genre films like this one. But the handful that I've seen, even Old Boy to an extent, I mean, they are very technically polished, which is kind of disarming in its own right, given the content in the movie.
Mhm.
And it's like I saw going in, it was 2 hours and 22 minutes or something like that. And I'm like, oh, what all do they have to show us this time? I was wondering if it was actually gonna imply or at least briefly open up this whole like crazy underworld of ne'er-do-wells.
Yeah,
I mean,
it
yeah,
does seem like there's like
really,
a whole group going, right? Like a society or something.
Is he
Or is he-
frozen again?
I think so.
Oh no, frozen and muted.
pride, because
Oh, you came back. No,
during the
we're losing you,
the
Jason.
dinner scene,
Don't leave.
the
It
cannibal
froze.
fella. I'm sorry. Remember, all we need is love. But
Oh my
this
god.
is I mean, it's really about the two main characters. All the rest of the characters are stock.
Oh, he's back.
I could see where some viewers could complain about how the female characters are even less than stock characters. There's very little we know about any of them.
Yeah.
Presumably, it's
Oh no. We could
deliberate
It's a mystery.
place.
Could be a
Based on
guessing.
how-
you know.
Oh.
Come back!
You were making a great point. I don't know what
I know.
happened.
I know. I was following it. It could be a guessing game in the chat about what was.
I was
being
gonna say,
said.
just do like a Mad Libs for.
Vengeance.
Poor Jason. He'll come back though,
He will come back.
better than ever.
Are you back?
You know, I wonder if we're blocking the signal here. Let's put you
I think
down.
Santa Claus is not helping.
He's hexing the vibe here. Come on.
He is.
I did like the depth of field that it created with the foreground, and then it balanced out the composition with the red book in the background and the red Santa Claus in the foreground.
Oh, I thought you were talking about the damn movie.
I also thought you were talking
That
about
too, that too. I was.
at first.
I'm like,
But then
I
I was
like-
like, wait.
It was
wait,
kind of a comparison of Jason's zoom window to a scene in the movie. That
I mean, if someone like comes
Do
in
we
and
really
chops
want
his arm
to?
off with a
Ew.
bone saw or something,
I like the fact that Chase got this movie at Family Video, because I always thought that was like only had. I never went in ever in my life, but
Okay,
my theory was that it
whatever,
only had
Mr.
family
Benson. Oh, boy.
movies.
no. Family Video is
No.
quite the opposite of that.
Oh yeah. You,
Family
you
Video
step
is
through
like-
those saloon
like-
doors,
Be like
leave your
Bambi.
family behind.
Or-
Did it have
Right
saloon doors?
Yeah, or like the one near my house growing up had a beaded curtain into like the adult section. But there was stuff on the, on the
It had an adult section.
Yeah.
an adult section, but also
I see.
stuff on the shelf that was already kind of porn. It's
And this
really
is
Yeah.
weird.
Family Video.
Yeah, Family Video. They're just like, hey, here's all
Yeah,
the
that
videos.
was kind of like one of the hallmarks
whole
of
family.
mom
Yeah.
and pop videos stores.
It's a very open family.
Oh yeah.
Saloon
Growing up
doors and
in my
Right.
little small town,
Even
we
the
had
ones
a-
that go camp out in the back.
Yeah, we had a mom and pop video store growing up, and
Yeah.
they really did just have the porn mixed in with everything else.
oh my god.
So that's why all of us kids were privy to the erotic misadventures of the Invisible Man growing up.
What video store
Perfect.
was that?
It was.
Can I go back in time?
I wish. I spent many summers at that video store. It was called Hometown Video.
Hometown Video.
It no longer exists.
I wonder why.
R.I.P. And the P stands for porn.
Now, I know Jason would probably know this, but how many video stores are like in this area still? Are there any?
I don't think so.
No, Family Video is the last one, and
Yeah.
it closed and became a Hollywood liquor store.
That's
I
right.
think it's the same one who took over Hollywood and just
Yeah.
kept the sign, right?
Yeah, I thought that was genius actually.
Oh yeah.
Right.
Now they're expanding their brand, so they got like the little letter sign
Right.
where you can have the letters on, but it's coming soon, booze,
Oh goodness. So was when you went into family
So, Damian,
video?
did you go pick up any Hollywood liquor in order to watch the movie?
Oh,
or-
in order to watch I Saw the Devil? No, I'm pretty sure. No, I watched this completely sober.
Me too.
Me too.
Because like even if I was on something, I would immediately sober up. Because it's all just
No
so
kidding.
No, it's not.
Yeah, I had an option of getting a glass of wine to watch it, and then I decided against it for that reason. Like, it wouldn't have any effect on me.
No, it's nice because like Eric and I were watching Poltergeist last night, right?
Yep.
And Eric was like, "Is this going to be messed up?" And I'm like, "No, you're broken now. Like you can never be freaked out again. You're good."
Well, and I asked that because when I was,
Hey.
hey, look at this.
Stop.
Now we're
Jason's
now it's really a lot
out
of
and
people.
Shep's in.
You kicked out Jason.
Ah,
Now he's
there
back.
he
Wait,
is.
he's
There
back.
Whoa! It's like magic. I'm seeing,
It's like
I'm
magic.
seeing stars and spinny things for like 30 seconds, and suddenly Shep's here.
Bada
It's
Oh,
like
boom.
the Doctor Strange of the podcast.
Amazingly, your reception is better, Jason.
For the moment.
It's the Shep effect, I'm telling you.
It's it. I bring the thunder. What's up, man? I'm sorry to interrupt.
Oh, yeah.
No, we weren't going anywhere with our conversation.
I think the majority of this discussion on I Saw the Devil has been like getting through most of a point and then losing it about halfway through.
It's kind of
So-
like for me, I was going to use this whole session as like a therapy session, really, to come down from watching that film.
I know.
saw
one-
bits of it.
yeah, I bet you didn't get through hardly any of it at all, did you?
See, I'm one that I knew I wasn't with 141 minutes. I was like, there ain't enough time. So I skipped a lot. And then I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah,
That
yeah.
escalated.
It
Yeah.
did.
It gets crazy.
I
What
mean, which
did
is
you
actually the whole entire movie is just escalation, right?
I popped in on the guy busting in on I think it was the bathroom and just
Oh,
Going
just
going to town on and I was like, oh, okay, like
Yeah.
all right,
yeah.
that's cool. And then I like sent a text off, and then I swear, like I look back and there's somebody in like a hospital bed, and he's like, "Wake up!" and just starts just going. And I'm like, this is intense. Okay, like he must be
Mhm.
the devil.
Yeah.
honestly,
that's the
this
good
time
guy.
around, I did wonder who the devil is supposed to be, whether it's supposed to be the bad guy or the good guy in this scenario.
Well, like I feel like they swap places a couple times in it, you know?
Yeah.
Because like
Yeah.
once he goes all in on the GPS down the throat to get him to like almost serial kill, and then he keeps interrupting him just to
Mhm.
mess with him more. I feel like he took over the devil role.
Right. Yeah.
But then once the original killer craps out the GPS and goes after the dad, like he's back in charge. So they kind of go back and forth, I guess.
Yeah. It is one of the most insane cat and mouse movies I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah. God.
Especially with the whole catch and release aspect of it. Like that, I feel like that's what sets it aside from so many other cat and mouse movies. Is he has so many opportunities to just exact his full revenge, and he just keeps dragging it out with this guy. And there were a lot of moments, even though this was my third time seeing it, I still just have to look away from the screen at certain
Yeah.
moments, like when he cuts his Achilles in that one scene.
Oh God, I didn't
Oh,
watch
yeah.
it.
Oh, boy.
I didn't watch it. I turned
Ooh.
away.
Sends him out.
Yeah.
This is a very intense movie, Chase. Thanks for picking it, bud.
Yeah.
It's a hell of an October pick, you know.
I feel like Chase gets me out of all you guys. I feel like me and Chase now are like, yeah, I did this to
Because you
myself.
purposely watched this film without any prodding, right?
Yeah, I was excited to watch it.
Oh, God.
Hell yeah. I'm excited to have exposed more people to it.
Yeah, it's good to be able to talk about it. It's been
I
waiting.
watched it for
Yeah.
Jason.
What he did.
Yeah, just for you.
I feel like
Oh,
we've really
thank
been
you.
turning up the dial for Jason since he's
I
been
know.
doing these with us. We started with Killer Clowns from Outer Space.
You know, and I told Chase originally that it's like I wasn't sure if I was in the mood for something really, hard knuckle, like balls out horror. So that's why we did the two that we did. And then Damian had to throw the monkey wrench in there and go, let's do I Saw the Devil.
Yeah, I picked it from a list.
It's that I actually thought it is very well done. It actually helps to not know much, even though it takes a certain story and kind of stretches it out a little bit too long.
Yeah, I mean, it kind of plays.
Yeah.
It definitely plays on your expectations of the I feel like it tries to out Vengeance, like the Vengeance trilogy.
Okay.
Like, you can just keep going with this like forever.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
I talked to Damian last night about this, but the whole catch and release thing that the fiance was involved with, I didn't view it as catch and release. I viewed it as he didn't want to become the person that he was trying to act his revenge upon. So he's like, I'm not going to murder you. I'm not going to deal with this. And then he keeps on proceeding. Because at the end, which I'm giving it away, right? At the end, he still didn't kill him at the end, right? He let someone else kill him.
He let his family kill him.
He let his son,
his young
baby, his 3-year-old son.
I feel like I could almost buy shoving the GPS down his throat as like giving him a second chance or whatever. But you already know what the serial killer is going to go do. Like, I'm pretty sure it was all just like the most petty vengeance guy ever.
Oh, especially he even drops that line in there where he pretty much says in the movie, like, "Oh yeah, I'm doing this on purpose. I'm going to make sure that this is as painful for you as possible."
Oh yeah, it's like the second time he stops him or whatever.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, right before the Achilles.
Yeah, that's right. The sweet Achilles.
Oh God, I'm glad I didn't watch that scene.
Yeah.
You keep on talking about it, so I'm.
You think you did? Terrible. You did. You're just repressing.
I'm kind of reliving it right now. I think
it'll come out later. It's fine.
Man,
Jason,
I was gonna go.
Movie? Is he there?
I think he's frozen again.
Yeah, I think he's frozen again.
Oh no!
Either that, or he's in a very zen state.
We're gonna go with the zen state. I was gonna rewatch this when we were done with this and really pay attention, but the more I hear you guys talk about it, the more I'm like, I don't
intense. I told it something I think you can appreciate that I told them earlier is that I kind of found this comparison to Batman and the Joker this time around, like watching it. I feel like you might be able to see that yourself as a Batman fan, like when you watch it. Just keep an eye out for that if you end up finishing it.
I mean, just like at the start, you can figure it out because he's got like the black biker helmet on and like the leather suit, and he's just wailing on dudes.
Oh yeah,
he does. He
just runs up walls and shit. Like
yeah. Where did he learn how to fight this way? I mean, he just seems like a normal guy getting married, and then
he's in the. They say what he's in. He's like a secret agent.
He's some sort of agent. Yeah.
Wasn't there a kind of a rash of European and Asian action films that were playing off of the parkour type of? Because at least some of it with him scaling the people's houses and stuff. That's what I thought of.
Yeah, that's probably right around that rate.
Working that in there. Yeah.
One thing.
Oh, sorry. Go.
Oh, I was just gonna say one thing I did wonder about this time around was when he goes to the villain's parents' place looking for information and shows them the recent picture, and he's like, "Oh, he looks so scary now." And everything that she's kind of describing about him prior to that, I really wondered what happened in that little time frame where he left his family and just became this sadistic fuck that he is.
Someone locked him in a room for 10 years and then he broke out.
This is just the sequel to Old Boy, is all it is.
I couldn't help but think of the infamous side-scrolling fight scene in Old Boy with some of the beat down that happened in this.
Every time.
Here.
And
Are you back?
No. He's back.
He is back. I saw him move. His connection.
Oh,
I just
all
heard
right.
it. I'm giving you the truth, man.
No, I thought you were just getting attacked by a bunch of dudes
Oh, I
who are out of breath one by one.
Oh my gosh.
I got what you're saying. the old boy comparison,
Yeah,
especially in the scene where he's fighting with the sickle and everything. That first time that they come to
Mhm.
blows, that is very reminiscent of Old Boy. I think.
yeah.
Mhm. He has a very expressive face. It was interesting. It's always kind of cool when better actors can use their face to tell us stuff, and not just their dialogue, what they say or don't say, but really mean and that sort of thing. I mean, you definitely see it a little bit there in that last scene where he's trying to use his own brain of psychology to
Right.
outfox the special agent once again. Doesn't quite work, but
What do you think happens
No,
to the special agent after this movie? Like, after he like breaks down and stuff, does he just go kill himself? Does he?
That's kind of how it feels.
Yeah. It looks
you know,
like
the
he was
thing is,
broken.
like, I think, I mean, the obvious intent would be maybe half sympathy for him, but half he's going to go down a long, dark road. You know, you kept telling the serial killer that, you know, your comeuppance or whatever is only just begun.
Mhm.
But I think he was also talking about himself. But
Yeah.
the weird thing is that my brain is actually like thinking about the son, even though the son's kind of edited kind of out of that last reveal.
Right.
You know, with the finding of the family getting into the home. And
Yeah.
it's like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
you know,
With the head on the ground.
There's
Yeah.
your sequel right there.
you know,
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
assuming
Yeah.
our
The little kid becomes a monster.
I saw the son of the devil.
There
Yeah,
we go.
I think
We
it's
got a
been
whole
written.
universe
Good
going.
happen.
Oh
on.
yeah,
Let's pitch it.
complete the Devil trilogy.
Yeah,
It's just one person chasing the other one and like
God,
torturing them, and then
I don't even want to think about a third one.
Violence
Oh.
begets violence.
yeah.
Well, I could see like to your question, the secret agent guy like retiring from being a secret agent, right, and just saying I need to get away from all of this stuff, and he's mentally broken.
Does he move into the cannibal house and become the new cannibal?
I could see his ass just going to jail.
Yeah.
Yeah, he
that's-
could snap that direction, or he could just become this like hermit and just not see anybody. But he'll have to come back to fight the son of the devil when he turns into.
Yeah, they'll find him in some underground fighting ring and with some
Right.
monks. He's like, I don't live that life anymore. But it's his son. All right.
I could see that.
Yeah, I definitely think the villain of this movie belongs up there with the greatest cinematic psychos of all time. I mean, there's no point even when he's like trying to be a charmer and stuff. Like it's very short lived.
Yeah.
Very short lived. Like even that scene with the doctor where he tells him to take off his glasses because he's clearly about to punch him in the face.
Yeah.
You know, and the nurse walks in like at the last second. He's just constantly just saying and doing things that are just absolutely terrible. I'm like, what a psychopath through and through.
Well, when he was in was it a taxi or an Uber and with those two other guys, and he just decides, I'm going to stab everyone as much as I
as much
possibly
as possible.
Weren't they going to rob him or
Oh.
something?
Well, that was
one
the first
question,
time that. Go ahead.
No.
Oh, damn it!
I didn't get a chance to go back. Yeah, I actually considered going back and rewatching a part of the movie. If we remember when Special Agent had his 4 suspects that his superior gave him the info sheets on,
Mhm.
and he tracked down the 2 of them and gave them a whooping. and then
Yep.
he had the two left, and then he actually, for whatever reason, focused on the guy who happened to be the guy. And I was wondering if the handful of people that are serial killer, fucks up by the end of the movie, was one of them the fourth serial killer?
Yeah, the guy in the cab who
That's-
tries to
that's right.
rob him was the fourth.
It
'Cause I
was
guess-
him. Okay.
It's a small town full of murderers.
Yeah, well, that was the thing when he like stabs the shit out of the two guys in the taxi, and then he opens the trunk, and those guys had a dead body in the back of the taxi, and
Right.
all he can say is "crazy bastards." Like, oh, these crazy
know.
bastards.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Like, how many
crazy.
fucking psychos are in this town?
I don't
Yeah,
know.
like I feel like the fact that the secret agent dude, he's from the town as well, right? I'm assuming his fiance like murdered small animals or something. You know, like
Older cat.
was up to something.
Oh yeah. I mean, when he busts that guy's balls with the wrench.
God.
I mean, they
That
immediately
was-
dubbed that guy a psycho. Like, it's like he's the protagonist of the story, but
Yeah.
he is also a psycho.
Right.
That was just so
Who
unnecessary.
broke your balls? Best line in the whole movie.
It's just so like, yeah, it's probably bad that I like this movie as much as I do, but it's just so like you think it can't go further, and then it does many times over.
Yeah,
God.
it's an intense one. Especially, yeah. So if you got a strong stomach for Halloween,
Yeah,
this is it's a good Halloween pick, I think.
it's pretty dope.
Not,
Not
part of the
family
book
friendly.
of Saw.
Not family friendly for sure.
I mean, it depends.
Dependence on your family.
I don't know if I want that family.
They
I
talk a
don't-
lot
I
about
don't think
family
so.
values in there. It's okay. It's
They talk about love and what you do. You do anything for love, right?
exactly.
Right.
To
It's really-
revenge the death of your love.
It's really a romance. It's a rom-com, except instead of rom, it's just murder. So much murder.
Murder com. Oh my
And there's
God.
not much comedy either, so it's just murder.
I
It's
mean, the
just-
balls thing is kind of it's not really funny.
No,
You
not
know,
really.
I think there's a version of that.
I like
that's
how
funny.
whoever wrote the
This was not
subtitles
it.
for the scene in the hospital there, they were trying to figure out how many creative ways to say "bust his balls" for the different characters to say. Like, okay, I will also admit there were a few bits where I laughed. I actually did not expect that.
There are a few funny moments. in
When
the
mean,
movie.
it's-
Cannibal guy tries to get the thing out of his hand,
Mhm.
and he
And
yanks
the
the
thing
handle
pops
off, but not the actual.
Yeah, that was-
I shame on me. I bust the gut.
I mean, I think that's part of the movie too. Is it's just like, wait, what? You make this joke now?
right?
That dude's bleeding out. Like yeah.
But
Yeah.
it's only bad karma for a cannibal of all people. So it's like, yeah, that is
It's
kind of funny.
Yeah.
A lot of the humor I
Weirdly,
think comes
unique,
from
I
like
don't know.
they'll set up transitions with the dialogue,
Ah,
like
South
who
Korea.
broke your
Yeah.
balls, and it immediately cuts to the secret agent like driving, and it's just like they have things like that it's like
Yeah.
that's where a lot of the humor is like peppered into the movie, but it is like unexpected. It's like
Yeah.
I just watched this guy hack a woman to pieces, literal pieces, and now we're having a laugh. Okay.
Yeah,
Which I mean, maybe it makes a point about like how we like the vengeance movies and stuff, and how we view it as entertainment. The fact that it like pops in those like kind of joke cuts in
Mhm.
between the literal cuts, but
Yeah, this is definitely one of those movies that makes me ponder. Like when I watch such gruesome
Well, I
movies,
think
it's
one
like,
of the
this is
old
one that I'm
Hollywood
like,
adages was Alfred Hitchcock saying how he knew he had to put in some bits of levity into even his most tense thrillers to give you the release. So I guess that's the Vengeance Cannibal movie version of giving you that release. I don't know.
yeah.
To an
It's
extreme.
technique, man, technique.
To an extreme, though.
Indeed.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I know we'll have to wrap this up here in a minute. So anybody have closing thoughts?
Any other crazy Korean movies we should check out, Damian?
Oh man, I've
There's
been
so
trying
many.
to watch the director of Parasite. I've been trying to watch all his movies.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Really good.
What's his name?
Bong Joon-ho.
Bong
Yep.
Joon-ho. Thank you.
He's really
Um,
good.
So yeah, I think I've watched almost all of them. He did this one called Mother that I really enjoy. It's not like crazy weird, like it's a murder mystery thing, but not
Right.
nothing like this. I mean, nothing is like this. Like even the stuff that is like I Saw the Devil is pales in comparison. Like, yeah,
I would say
Since-
Okja.
Mr.
Okja
Vengeance,
is
I
a
love
great.
it. Yeah,
Korean
Okja is
film.
really good. Like all of
I
them,
forgot
every
about
single
that.
one I've seen is good.
Yeah.
And then what was the other? Oh no, Squid Games I watched, but that's
Which I believe the lead in this is in Squid Game.
that's right. That's how I knew him. Okay.
Which I have not
Yeah.
seen Squid Game. That's just a little IMDb for you.
Yeah. I think, isn't it
Good.
like 10 years old? Like it's just been kind of sitting there for 10 years? Squid
Like
Game?
I think the guy.
Oh yeah.
Oh, Squid
show.
Game. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like the script, maybe?
The script. Yeah.
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 Mhm.
Because no one would pick it up. And finally Netflix did.
Yeah.
Because it was just too weird.
Yeah.
Well, especially as I'm sitting here watching this, I get much enjoyment out of hearing this. I haven't watched it yet, but I'm just like if Squid Game's that big, to see Korean entertainment start blowing up like this, it's like, oh, you people have no idea the things you can get into with Korean cinema.
Right.
Squid
Yeah.
Game is the,
I mean,
the top of the.
people who think Squid Game is violent, like, are like, you don't know. You don't know what violence.
You haven't saw I Saw the Devil.
Right.
Yeah.
This one's very intense.
That's for sure. Understatement.
Well,
All right.
well,
Well,
you
I got
gotta
to
take
I got
off.
to go. Yep.
Yep.
Thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
Yep.
It's nice to see you guys. Thanks
Good
for
to
having
see
us on.
everyone. Nice
Yeah,
meeting
Oh,
people
no
I met.
problem. No problem.
Yeah.
Y'all
Take
have a
care.
great evening.
You too.
You too.
Oh, and then there were 3. All right.
3 of us.
So I guess that's it. Slate 23.